Welcome to the MIT at Innovation Program podcast. This is a repository of insights by thought leaders and practitioners of innovation where they speak about their views, insights, and experiences. Come join us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, The Story Behind Rughra, a vertical farming agro innovation venture. My name is Priya Dhawan, and I contribute as the Head of Collaborations, Branding and Outreach to the MIT ID Innovation Program. This is our 12th webinar since lockdown started, and I'm grateful to be amongst you all hosting this informational session today. I'm pleased to introduce our guest speakers and student innovators, Arihant Jain and Aniket Arihant. Arihant Jain has been trained as a mechanical engineer from IET, Lucknow, where he was a major part of several projects under BAJA SAE India, and also made a working prototype on thermoacoustic refrigeration. Product-based software company dealing in automating the banking sector services, where he worked as a quality system engineer, getting his feet wet in quality management system, information security, and management systems and project management. A constant search for creativity led him to the intersection of design, business, and technology, and that's what brought him to MIT ID Pune to pursue the innovation program, where he hopes to learn, unlearn, relearn, and continue learning lifelong. When Arihant is not working, you may find him memorizing and performing theater plays, reading self-help books, making random travel plans, and meditating in the woods. Now about his partner in greens, Aniket Arihant. He is an offbeat trekker and cyclist whose heart resides in nature. He has worked on various startup projects that delved into organic farming and hydroponics. Having an experience in plastic product design and the plastic mold manufacturing industry, that invoked him to explore the financial aspects of the market. He thus undertook sales and marketing of industrial products to learn about strategic business design. The innovation program attracted him as it helps to understand and learn about design and innovation while focusing on human-centric design and strategic business design. So before we proceed to listen to Arihant and Aniket, I have a few updates to share about the session and the MIT ID Innovation Program webinar platform. Today's webinar will have the young innovators share their insights for the first half hour, followed by questions facilitated by the head of the innovation program, Professor Harshit Desai. This will happen in the latter half hour. Next, we encourage you to be curious and ask questions. If you have a question for our young innovators, please feel free to share it via the Q&A tab. If you don't get to your question during today's webinar, we will surely follow it up with answers offline. This webinar will be available after the session on our various social channels. Do stay updated about future webinars and online lectures. We'd like to encourage you to share today's webinar and its learnings with your social networks. This curated series on innovations will feature a variety of industry thought leaders and thought leaders to be, like Arihant and Aniket, who are a part of the MIT ID innovation ecosystem. For all those who are joining us for the first time today, I'd like to inform you that MIT stands for the 4-decade-old Maharashtra Institute of Technology. ID stands for MIT's 15-year-old Pioneering Institute of Design. MIT ID's one-year innovation program focuses on the 4 pillars of design, business, technology, and humanities. The key features and differentiators of this one-year course are immersions, project-based learning, and humanities. At MIT ID Innovation Program, industry and academia come together to create a new breed of comprehensive innovators like Arihant and Aniket, who are informed by design thinking, influenced by future technologies and trends, and inspired to make their own mark in the global political, social, economic, and technological scenario. So we welcome you all once again to this thoughtfully curated innovation journey. Arihant and Aniket, we look forward to know more about Rughra and your innovation journey as well. Over to you.
Thanks a lot, Priya, for the introduction. So let's start. So me and Aniket are both food lovers. We really like to eat food, and so we keep exploring different kind of cuisines in near Pune area, in Pune area. So I hope each one of you thinks about future as to what the future will look like. We are also the same. We're also thinking about future, the future of food. Let me just share the presentation. Yeah,
We'll have a quick question, polling question, Arihant. Just give us a minute.
sure, Priya, sure.
Yes. So in the next 30 minutes, we'll take you through the journey of Rughra. But first, I would like to show you some facts about the future of food. Do you know? Next slide, Arihant. Yeah. Do you know? As we know, population is increasing day by day, and the world's population will go around 10 billion, around and around by 2050. Now in India, rural areas are rapidly changing into urban areas. Smart cities are arising, and it's happening all over the world. Food wastage is on the peak. People faced a lot of food, and it's new to me also. New for me also. But directly and indirectly, agriculture is also plays a vital role in greenhouse emission. Some serious questions comes in my mind after going through these facts. Next slide. As as we have seen, population is increasing, urban cities are increasing. So, do we have enough food or land to grow this food to uh, to give it for the upcoming population? Do we have enough food? Many farmers use excess amount of pesticides. So, the food we are consuming, is it safe? Are we practicing sustainable agriculture? These questions are very serious in this part. So we did thorough research and come to conclusion that the answer might lies in urban farming. So what is urban farming? Urban farming is growing food or producing food in cities or heavy populated towns like Pune or Mumbai, for example. Simply, uh, through urban farming, you can grow your food inside your house or near your house. So you can consume it directly. No issues of freshness. There are various types of urban farming, like rooftop farming, greenhouse farming, growing food into containers or factories. Here, we are focusing on vertical farming. Why vertical farming? As we can see in picture, the veggies are grown vertically. Most The most applied system in this vertical farming is hydroponic system, aquaponics or aeroponic systems. In this, we can grow food without soil. We use water to grow all these vegetables.
Okay. So Aniket told you about what is urban farming and what is vertical farming. Now, moving towards the advantages of vertical farming, you will be all of you will be amazed to know that through vertical farming, it uses 95% less water than the conventional farms, and I was amazed to learn this fact. Now, this vertical farming is also very space efficient, so that if you take a square meter of an area and you grow food in that using vertical farming techniques, that is the same amount of food that you will be able to grow in a 50 square meter area through conventionally farming methods, and that is a very large amount of difference. And in that, you don't have to wait like for winters to come to eat spinach and all. You can grow 365 days a year and any crop all throughout the year. Also, as it is grown indoors, you don't need any pesticides or herbicides because there is no question of pest attack. Now, if I talk about some numbers, like where's the money flowing? So vertical farming has seen investments from the likes of SoftBank, IKEA, even Google, and the market value is expected to reach around 6.4 billion till 2023, and that is like a huge number. So I don't think there's a question of any lack of money in this field. Now, what if we asked ourselves, what if you can grow your own food in front of you and consume it within minutes of harvesting. How great would be that? Introducing Rughra. Rughra is a brand that we created that produces hyper fresh, nutritious, and pesticide free food using sustainable farming methods. And how do we do that? Let's see.
So the first product of Rughra is a
Hello?
vertical. Yes, the first product of Rughra is vertical farm inside your home, and so we have developed an automated system that expects 90% less of water as compared to the conventional farming methods, and no pesticides. It is connected to the screen that tells you about the health of the microgreens or the greens which are growing inside the systems, and it gives the real-time analysis like temperature, humidity, la, level of moisture, light intensity required for optimal growth of the greens. Yes, what all you can grow in the systems. Here you can grow microgreens and mature greens. Some of you know, maybe you don't know about micro and mature greens. I'll tell you. So for example, spinach, amaranth, fenugreek, these kind of leafy vegetables, there are many kind of leafy vegetables you can grow, and tomato, capsicum, cucumber in this system. What is your favorite food? So now I can't ask, but let us consider it is strawberries. In this system, you can grow fresh, tasty, delicious strawberries. But for now, we are growing 40 types of microgreens in the systems. What are microgreens? Microgreens are the baby greens that contain 40 times more nutrients than the mature greens. It takes 15 days to grow microgreens in the system. It boosts the immunity and improves your health. These rainbow greens have tremendous health benefits, like it helps reduce heart diseases, it fight cancer, it boosts your immune system, it helps to improve your eyesight.
You have explained
Yes,
about the indoor farm, I guess.
endoform, yes, and the
Okay, now
microgreens. So these are
done that
microgreens.
also.
So what does future holds? What we are thinking about to come up with a personalized growing systems. Like you can grow your food based on your personal needs. The AI system, it is integrated with an AI system. We hope to develop the app such that it recommends a personalized, sustainable food diet for you based on your health conditions, eating habits, and the climate changes. It might. Uh, it would also tell you about the numbers of the nutrients present in those greens which are growing in that systems. For example, if your growing system produces spinach, then the app will tell you tell you the nutritional amount or the value of spinach and how it is going to improve your health. Again, the
Yes.
next important part is the growing part. You don't need any kind of experts here. So we are trying to come up with a network where farmers will help you to grow that systems, or else the farmers will uh, input the data, so systems will automatically grow the greens. That's our future plans.
Yes.
Yes.
So, so as we explained that the main idea is to grow your food locally, to grow your food there and then where you are, and consume it there and then only. And it perfectly resonates with the idea of let's be vocal for the local. Now, we'd also like to talk about a journey of how we started this venture, this idea, not a venture back then. It was just an idea to think about alternate ways to grow food. We had this was our first prototype. As you can see, we were growing a lot of variety of veggies. So there are sunflower, then there is broccoli, mustard, then spinach, carrot. So all these we have tried it. We have done multiple iterations so that we can know what are the optimal parameters to grow the food in indoors.
So we for I think just go to backslide. So
Okay.
for seven times or 8 times we were not getting the optimal results.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
now after doing so many prototypes, now we are sure that we can get a good results of it.
yes. Now, as to test the idea that do people really want to eat this? Do people really like microgreens? We set up we set up this salad bar in an event, and to our surprise, the response was great. I mean, people loved what we made. We gave them salads, and people loved them. So I will just show. These were the salads that we made. I hope you
Tasty,
all must be,
delicious. Yes.
yeah, might be hungry seeing this. These were some of our fans who really liked the offerings, the salads, and the idea behind growing locally and growing indoors.
So I just remember one thing, like before, as we are showing the journey,
Yeah.
Arihant and I, we both were discussing कि करे नहीं करे, डालना है stall नहीं डालना है, कैसे करेंगे, क्या देंगे food में recipes. I remember before that day, like हम market गए, हम देखा कि क्या material है, क्या नहीं है. We were trying to get all the, and we came back at around 10 o'clock, 10 p.m.
Yeah.
उसके बाद हमने रेसिपीज ट्राई करना स्टार्ट किया कि हम ये देंगे, हम वो देंगे. वी ट्राइड नाचोस, वी ट्राइड एवरीथिंग. रात को एटलीस्ट 5 AM तक, लाइक सुबह 5 AM तक हम लोग यही कर रहे थे. एंड हमारा इवेंट स्टार्ट होने वाला था 10 बजे. हमने सारा रेसिपीज बनाया एंड वी डिसाइडेड कि जितना भी सोचा था वो देखेंगे, बट फर्स्ट हमें टेस्ट करना है कि ये लोग ग्रीन्स खाना पसंद करेंगे क्या नहीं. So luckily we installed our stall. बहुत struggle, like everything was there. It was fine. So many people came, and we were not expecting them. Like इतना भी कुछ boom होगा. In the mid time, I remember हमें फिर से एक बार material लेके आना पड़ा था. And again, you remember that girl? Yes.
Yeah, one of the girl came. She came to the stall around 5 times to eat the salad, and we were like, okay, let's give her the 6th salad for free. But she didn't came the 6th time. So yeah, we then decided to take it a step further, and we decided to open a proper salad bar in the innovation lab. So it is before the lockdown, we were running it like we ran it twice, and we were planning to make it a weekly or like thrice in a week affair. So after because of lockdown, we couldn't do it. But once the lockdown is open, we are definitely going to reopen the bar, and everyone is welcome to come and eat this delicious salads.
So these are some feedbacks from the people.
Yeah.
Who came to our salad bar and they tasted it for the first time. Yeah, you can move forward.
So that is our motto: you are what you eat. Meet the team, meet the young and these amazing people that we have worked with, because of which we have been able to portray. We have been able to make this as a brand, to launch this as a brand.
They are the core members. Yes.
Yeah, Aniket, go on.
So those team members are our core foundation of the whole system, the whole venture, you can say.
Yeah, definitely.
And these are our mentors.
Yep.
Harshit sir, Nachiket sir, and Kunal Jagtap. Kunal, he's in Deloitte Digitals. He's an experienced designer. He helped a lot to move forward. Like he's our support, a strategic support to us. He showed the direction sometimes, and he told us, do this, do that, because he have a good experience in farming.
He himself has been doing this stuff a lot.
Yes. And as Harshit sir and Nachiket sir, definitely they are the one who encouraged us to do this.
Pillars, like these are 3 pillars of our venture.
Yes, I forgot to tell one thing, that we forgot to tell you one success. Like we showed the system to a very big organization, and Arihant, do you want to tell?
Yeah, so it was basically we were discussing our idea, and we actually the organization actually told us to give them a system, and we are in collaboration working with them, and we would be giving them our first system would be given to them, and let's see what happens, how the things roll out.
Now we are very excited to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's the thank you
That's
time.
it
That's it. Thank you guys for
for listening us.
listening us. Yeah.
And if you have any questions, you can ask any
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Any kind of questions you would like to ask?
Great, Aniket and Arihant. Thank you for your interesting presentation and taking us through the interesting journey that you have had as a part of the innovation program.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure.
I'm sure the participants have kind of gained a good insight in terms of what you were able to do in the past 6 to 8 months of your time that you have spent at the program.
Yeah.
Just for everybody's understanding and for us also to kind of revisit this whole project in a different way, what do you think kind of helped you to really make this project happen? Because I believe there were multiple projects happening. You were working on multiple assignments as a part of the program. Some
Yes.
were heavy on design, some were purely on the business side of things. What was that one main reason which brought it all together? And
Yeah.
I also see that you could actually collaborate with people outside of the innovation program as well. Means there were
Yes. Yes.
students from graphic design, UX design, so they all kind of came together to make this happen. So would you like to spare some kind of time on that? Share some
Sure.
lights?
Sure, sir. So the main uh, push behind this was the learnings that we had in the innovation program. So whether I talk about design thinking, whether I talk about critical thinking, how to think about an idea, how to go from 0 to 1,
Okay.
then if I talk about human-centered design, so
Yeah.
keeping the user in mind, keep empathizing with the user and thinking what he or she would need, and then working on the designing the problem around that and working on the solution around that. Yeah. Aniket, would you like to add something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we developed this thing. We had grown microgreens. The major thing is the human centric part, the desirability part of the innovation.
Yeah.
Why these greens are needed? Who want it? And we focused on that part. That is the major part of innovation.
Okay.
Why people will eat it and
Okay.
how they will eat it. So that's why we are producing this system for them.
Okay. And also in terms of say you actually kind of doing something hands-on vis-a-vis the team kind of doing it together. So if you can just kind of share your understanding of what were your individual contributions and what else was done by the team, so we get an overall understanding of how the product was actually built.
Yeah. Sure, sir.
Do you have some pictures of the designs that you have made as a before you arrived at the final solution? Maybe
Yes,
that would
yes.
help here.
We have. Yeah. Just give me a second. I'll show them.
Aniket, you can talk till then. What was your overall
Yeah,
experience?
Aniket.
So my overall experience was as Priya ma'am said, I was into farming only. After that, the system I I introduced two microgreens. So what are microgreens? Before that, मुझे पता था कि microgreens क्या होते हैं, but I don't know the commercial aspect of it. So I decided to do more research and I dig deep into it. तब जाके मुझे पता चला कि microgreens is a very interesting part and people want it. People want to use it. People want to consume it. And I did secondary research to know whether they really want to know it, whether they really want to eat it or not. So after that, I decided to build the system.
Okay.
So the
Just,
growing, as you know,
yeah.
growing part is the toughest part, and we were trying to solve many problems in that system also, like to automate the systems, to come up with a new material, how we can integrate seeds in the mat. So these are very technical aspects of it. We were trying to solve them.
We also have Mr. Amit Inamdar, who was a faculty and mentor for the program. Amit, would you like to share some insights of how did they go about, and what did you find interesting about this particular project?
Hello.
You are mute, sir.
Yeah.
I would like to just ask these two guys the collaboration. I would like you to spare some more time on the collaboration aspect of it. You just touch upon briefly, but how did you manage the whole thing with respect to multiple field of people?
Yeah, yes, sir.
So, the person is not important, the field is important. For example, somebody in product design, somebody in branding, somebody in communication design, somebody in UI. So how did all this come together along with two of you? So just spend some time on these aspects.
So if I talk about the collaboration part, it started with initially it was just two of us who were like um, uh, thinking about things and all. Then we decided that it's a good idea to collaborate with like to use the rich culture of design that the college has, and collaborate with people and take their inputs and then come up with a product for the people. So we started talking to people in product design, then graphic design, as to how can be the look and feel of the brand. How will the product look like? As these days an app is like unnecessary for any product you make. We also collaborated with people from the UX design to generate the user flows, to generate the wireframes, and then come up with an app. So the collaboration part was really important, because and also managing the team that we had. So it was all when the lockdown. So before lockdown, uh, we just had a meet. We just discussed it with Shubhankar. After lockdown, it got difficult for us to communicate because we were not there. So it was the daily Zoom calls and the daily discussions we had as to how should the brand look like, what should the design, what should the elements of design. So it was a rigorous process, but it teaches you a lot. I mean, working in a team and managing the team, it teaches you a lot. So these were some of the initial designs we had. um,
Can you enlarge the screen?
okay, just give me a minute. Is it okay now?
Sure.
Yeah. These are some of the initial designs that Shubhankar came up with discussions with Nachiket sir, Harshad sir, and me and Aniket. Yes. So
Yeah, I'll just like to add Aryan and Aniket. So for the benefit of the other members who are on the webinar,
yes, sir.
the uniqueness of this venture is the way the entire ecosystem of developing a product was brought into effect,
Yeah.
and the team was put in place. The team comprising of a product designer, a brand designer, a graphic designer, and both the co-creators of the venture from the innovation program, who also happens to have engineering background and the agriculture background. So for any development to happen, any innovation to happen, any business venture to happen, all of us should understand that it's not a subject of one person. It cannot be done single-handedly. It is a teamwork, and the right kind of inputs are required at the right time. So for example, when the logo has to be designed, what should the logo be, what it should convey. So there are a lot of deliberation interactions amongst this group, which led to the brand identity of the product. That's also a very important step. How the UI should be, how the uh, communication which will go on the social media should be. So all aspects of any venture, any company which is important for the success of in any venture was tried to be created. The ecosystem was built around this making this a success,
Yeah.
at least on the launching pad. So that's what this venture is as of now, and the timely inputs and the background work. So everybody contributed in their own manner in the thought process for his or her own domain, plus collectively. So there were a lot of discussions which the entire team had for just bouncing off ideas, uh, curating some of them, negating some of them, trying to get more information on a particular aspect to build the whole venture into a successful venture. So this aspect, I think, is of very great importance as far as the project is concerned, which also happens to be part of the innovation programs project which these two people are working on, and they were able to understand how it will work in the industry or in the society when they will go out in the market. So for any venture, what all is required, that is what I think was a main learning quotient
Definitely.
for
Yeah.
the people who have done this. I think that's what I wanted to add.
Sure. Thank you, Professor Thakur. Amit, if you could.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry, I was on a different system, so I couldn't connect before. But first of all, congratulations to Aniket and Arihant. I'm really glad to
Thank you.
see the progress that you guys have done.
Thank you, sir.
And I think just to add to what Dr. Nachiket said, I think one aspect I would to add to his comments is, of course, MIT has done a great job in terms of being able to bring under one roof the entire palette of skill set that's required to be able to pull this or make an idea into a really fruitful venture. But I think what the program has done is, I think, has given the ability to you guys to be able to connect the dots and leverage the opportunities. Because if you take as an entrepreneur, you have opportunities around you, you have people around you all the time, but to be able to understand and leverage those connects and leverage those talents that are around you to be able to take it forward, I think that's the biggest job that this program has been able to achieve, and that's why it is really exciting to see now the fruits of the efforts that everyone has taken, being a part of this program, and being part of the first initial human-centered design studies with all of you, including Aniket and Arihant. It is great to see how each of the aspects in terms of not just understanding the customer, but understanding technology, understanding the behavior, and understanding in terms of how you can really make it into a business. I think, and that's what the innovation program stands for, and to be able to leverage all of that to make it into a success. And of course, I really look forward to see how this takes shape, because it's really interesting and motivating at the same time to have an idea which I still remember when we were doing the course, as it was I would say the early stage of failure before the success, but it was really exciting to see all of this. And as a program, I think it's a great achievement in terms of being able to facilitate it to a level, bring different collaborators under one roof, and being able to build this to a level where it is as of now. And of course, there will be support to take it forward as well. But at this stage, I am really glad to be a part of this, and I think the entire thought process, or the entire motivation behind starting this program seems to have started to take shape. And as we go forward, we will see more ventures coming. But this being the maiden one, the first one, I think it is really interesting to see how this takes shape. So congratulations to all the mentors, of course the both of you who have taken this and moved ahead, and I'm really glad to actually get a chance to talk and share my thoughts, because I was really waiting to. I joined earlier to this webinar as well. Before everyone joined, I was really excited to see how it was going to come up, but really glad to see how it has turned up. So thank you,
Thanks a lot.
everyone.
Thanks a lot, Aman.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Thank you,
thanks,
Amit.
Amit. Thanks a lot. And that was Amit Inamdar. He himself is an entrepreneur, and he's a designer who was very closely involved in the program, and the inputs when it comes to the entire design thinking and the human centered principles that are required in any of such projects. I think he was the key member to give that inputs to both Aniket and Arihant in the program. So thanks, Amit, for that. And
Thank you.
Aniket, there are a few questions from the audience, so probably we'll just take them one by one and see if we can answer them. So there are some questions which are around the economics of this whole hydroponics, right? How much does it cost, or when can we do it at home? What kind of investment is required to set up things at the scale that you have just shown us as a model? So if you can help us understand what was the cost that was incurred, and how did you kind of go about that, it would help people for those who are interested to do something at their own as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Aniket?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, cost-wise, if you want to start your own thing, then it requires a very less amount to do that. Just you have to take your seeds and plant it. But if you need expertise or the system, then we are coming up with a new homemade systems that cost you like minimal. For example, if you are growing 10 rupees ka spinach from bahar se, and so from this system you will get it for 7 rupees, and fresh and pesticide free. Yes.
And also there is a question which says that because if it is, say, in the open area, or if it is exposed to the environment, how does the pollution around us in the urban areas, does that affect the quality of food, or how do we take care of that part of the system?
Okay. So might be Kunal is the right person to give this answer, but I'll put some some of my points on it.
Yeah.
So for outside, we are not going to open. We are not going to give the open systems. So we are going to enclose it through some glass or something with another material.
Okay.
To avoid all this stuff to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically a controlled environment. I mean, you can control the temperature. The whole idea is to make it grow it in a controlled environment, to control the temperature, the humidity, the moisture content, that no outside influence can affect the crops, affect the greens.
So the technology and the kind of, I could see the circuits and that entire electronics part. So was it to really control the parameters, the temperature and all of that? What was the purpose of those components there?
So at that time, the purpose was to monitor the data as to what is the temperature, what's the humidity around the system, in the system.
Okay.
And then using that data to come up with some rules to so that we can create an algorithm or a model that would help us to make this whole system self-sufficient. That you don't have to adjust, you don't have to give it sunlight or keep it do a lot of management of the system. It just it will give you alerts and notifications when suppose if I say the temperature is above a threshold or below a threshold, the system will send you a notification, and then you can just go and adjust the temperatures, and same with the water or the humidity.
And with the light also, like if plant need if it is required less light
also.
Yes.
Okay. Siddhi Dalvi wants to know about the nutrient solution that is needed for the plants, and how do we procure that? So can you help her understand, first of all, the nutrient solution and what's the concept, and where do we get it?
Okay, so plants required, so basically the basic need of plant is NPK, right? So you can get it from the market also, and like we are also developing, we are also producing this nutrients in our lab, organic
Okay.
nutrients.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So as you can see, we in the audience we have quite a few people who have kind of already tried growing their own food, either in a kitchen garden or the terrace or in whatever way possible. So I think that's why they were having some very specific questions on how do they go about this. So what would be your advice to a first timer? So if somebody who wants to kind of get started and who is interested to grow the food on their own, what would be your advice based on the experience that you have had so far?
Aniket, you would like to take this question?
Yes. So if you want to grow it like microgreens, then you
Yeah.
can take a simple soil. You can sow seed into that, water it, and consume it after 15 days. That's the simplest method. And
Okay.
if you want to grow mature greens,
Hmm.
so you can take a small waste material from your home, like a small uh, dabba or kind of thing. There, in that you can pour soil, and you can grow seeds. You can grow spinach or any kind of vegetables.
Okay. Okay.
It is simple.
So
Okay.
I myself, I would like to add, I myself have been growing wheatgrass in my home for the past few days.
Okay.
And it's really simple. You just, so if you have the nutrients, external nutrients, then you can just grow them on a mat, on a jute bag, or on the tissue paper, on a recycled cloth, and then just providing them with external nutrients. And then if you have soil, then you don't need nutrients. Just put the seeds in the soil, and it will grow. The idea behind the system is to uh, for for people to able to grow a variety of stuff, and that too in quantity and quality.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Without spending too much time into it. Like
Yeah, without because it's a fast-paced life, and you cannot manage. People do gardening. People have these plants at home, but they're not able to manage it. They're not able to take care of them. So that's the way we come, and we provide you with the system that takes care of itself.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So coming to this current situation, so I'm just running an interesting poll here that just to see what people have missed the most in this lockdown period. So I think the competition is between pani puri and fresh veggies. So I think we can help in terms of surely growing some fresh veggies using the systems.
Yeah.
So after the lockdown, what do you think? Is this whole post-COVID scenario? How do you see that impacting the food-related behavior of people? Is it going to change? Are we kind of going back to the normal? How do you see, and what are your plans to kind of integrate those learnings into the product now?
Uh, I guess post-COVID things are gonna change drastically. If I talk about in terms of food, so people. So I talked to some of the users, and they said they won't be trusting anymore the food that they used to eat before lockdown or before COVID. So there has to be a surety that the food is healthy, the food is not contaminated, and it's made in a safe environment.
Okay.
People will choose to eat something that can increase their immunity, so that if their probability of catching disease reduces. Then the best source of increasing immunity these days, if I say, are vegetables. I mean, if you eat greens, if I talk about microgreens, so microgreens are uh, a great source to increase your immunity. So I guess the food scenario will change a lot. People will eat more. People will be more thoughtful about what they're eating, how they're eating, where they're eating,
Okay.
and our system would definitely be. Uh, it would definitely help people to eat thoughtfully and eat a much healthier diet. If it's growing in front of you, so there's no question of uh, contamination in that, or it being not fresh. You can just eat it there and then only. As soon as you harvest it or pluck it, just eat it
Okay.
then and there.
Okay.
So it's going to help post-COVID scenario, in the post-COVID scenario, a lot.
Sure. Uh, I think we have few more minutes to go. There is one more question coming up, which says that can I depend entirely on this system someday? Means like for a breakfast to dinner and everything that happens in between. Uh, will such a system be equipped to feed me or provide me the right kind of food for the entire day? And is there a possibility to make it portable, or is there something which I can carry along with me?
So Rughra, I'll take this. Rughra is
Yeah.
working on this kind of questions. You can consume it. For now, we are developing a system where you can consume it for the day, for
Hmm.
one day, like breakfast only, not
Okay.
for the whole day.
Acha.
So we are coming up with that. But if you want the fresh produce,
Mm-hmm.
so we are trying to provide it through the system,
Okay.
through Rughra.
Okay. See, from what I know, I would also like to kind of add is because when we grow the microgreens, although the quantity seems very less, but in terms of the nutrition that it carries, it is very high. So even a small
Correct.
quantity of microgreens would provide you a nutrition which probably half of your meal can just be enough for that. So from a nutrition point of view, yeah, means I think it will be a good energy supplement if you want to use it for the entire day. Rest all depends on your food taste and platter and your hunger and the rest of the kind of activity that you do during the day. So from a nutrition point of view, I think the microgreens can do still a better job than the conventional food here.
Correct.
Definitely.
So I just want to add, like
Yeah.
everyone is now sitting at their home, and no one. I can say that at least 50% people are not doing exercises.
Yeah.
So eat less and consume less
Yeah.
and do
Eat
more
healthy.
exercise.
Yeah.
Eat healthy. Or if it is possible, then we are coming up with a new thing. Like you can grow your own greens inside your house. Consume that because it will help you to maintain your health.
Sure.
Definitely.
Sure.
Sure. Thanks,
Thank
Aniket.
you.
I believe Amit would like to add something.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Please.
audible.
Listen.
Okay, awesome. No, I was just saying that in terms of how the progress would be in terms of this venture is it's just a start, and a lot of people have a lot of questions, and I think soon you will be able to see in terms of how this develops and how the entire landscape of eating and the landscape of producing food will change. And I'm sure with Rughra they have already planned in terms of what the the future looks like, and eventually as the system is built, you will be able to see and how this contributes to the entire nutritional value. Of course, at this stage this is not a meal replacement, but I'm sure going forward it can take a substantial load off in terms of being able to provide you with the nutrition that is required per day. And a lot of people during this lockdown have become pretty conscious in terms of the food intake they have. And with this system, I think that will be taken care of with the assurance that it is pure. And I think the biggest advantage it is going to give, because now you are reading the trends and you are understanding how the businesses are operating, is the zero contact systems. Because a lot of right from food deliveries to vegetables and fruit deliveries have been checked upon to have the minimum contact with different people, and that's something that this system will surely provide. So that's what I just wanted to add in terms of what I see this entire system as, which is very interesting.
Sure. Thank you, Amit. Professor Desai will take one or two more questions. Please proceed.
Yeah. So I think there is one similar question that how will you tackle the hunger? If I'm hungry, I need food in a bigger quantity. How can these microgreens scatter to hunger? Uh, yeah, Aniket, Arihant, would you like to answer that?
So yes, sir. So as I said in previous slides, like microgreens is one part of the systems. We are coming up with the mature greens also.
Okay.
So both can contribute in the system.
Sure.
Microgreens is a supplement. Like it's a filler to your
These are, yeah,
recipe.
these are like those protein or protein shake, if I say, or those pills that if you take and you
Mm-hmm.
just can become you can have a very high amount of nutrition in a very small amount of quantity. So this is mainly for that reason. Apart from that, there are greens like leafy greens. So the major thing is that you can grow leafy greens in this vertical farming scenario.
Okay.
So if I talk about lettuce, spinach, then these are the main greens, arugula, amaranth. These are the main greens that people grow and that can be grown. And yeah, so these will basically be the main ingredient of to tackle your hunger. And the microgreens will be a supplement, or if I say a garnishing part, like a dressing part of that, of your whole meal.
Okay. Got it. Cool. You all seem to have accumulated a lot of knowledge and understanding of this space. So is there any plan to kind of give some tips? Because I'm sure many people around are always looking for new recipes or new ways of making food healthy as well as interesting. So is there any do you have an Insta page or a video channel or a what is, where can we find some more information about this and similar stuff?
Yeah. So we have an Instagram channel, an Instagram page by the name of Rughra.
Okay.
So we keep posting the updates or the various what recipes you can try with microgreens, or what recipes you can try with lettuce, or any of the greens that can be grown in vertical through vertical farming or through our system.
Okay.
You can find, and we are also planning to collaborate with chefs in local areas. So if I say about Pune, so we are in talks with chefs that would give us suggest us recipes or make recipes for us, and then we can share them with people so that they can make at their home using the greens that you have grown in the system.
Okay. Fair enough. That's a good point to end the webinar here. And thank you for all the interesting information and the lovely food pictures that you have shown here. And I think
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure.
it's good to see finally that the whole journey we started a few months back has come to this level where it's a real product which is being made with the right support from the industry, from the other mentors, and there is definitely a future which we see the product will take for its own. And yeah, thank you for your time, and thank you for kind of presenting this in an interesting manner to all of us. Yeah, Priya ma'am, you can kind of proceed with the final steps and conclude this.
Sure. So
Thank you,
for
sir.
more
Thank you, sir.
So for more questions, to reach out to us offline on LinkedIn. A round of thanks to our participants for joining us today. And special thanks to our young innovators for their time and sharing bits and parts of their starting journey. For those who tuned in late, this curated series on innovations will feature a variety of industry thought leaders, speakers, young innovators who are a part of the MIT ID innovation ecosystem. You could be one of them in the future. MIT here stands for the 4-decade-old Maharashtra Institute of Technology. ID stands for MIT's 15-year-old pioneering Institute of Design. And MIT ID's one-year innovation program focuses on the 4 pillars of design, business, technology, humanities. The key features and differentiators of this one-year course are immersions, project-based learning, and humanities, all of which you saw in the presentation earlier. Last few seats left for the second cohort of this prestigious program that will fast-track your career path. So we encourage you to connect with us via our social channels to know more. Stay connected, stay safe, stay home, and keep innovating every day.
Thank you everybody. Thank you
everyone.
all the panel members to join. See you around.